Have you ever heard of a health halo? It sounds like the radiant glow you'd expect to see in someone who eats right and gets plenty of exercise. But I'm talking about foods that have the halo, foods that just by their names or descriptions alone we associate with healthy eating. You know the ones, granola or salad or yogurt or tea. These foods certainly sound healthy, so do foods that are low fat or made with whole grain. But if you're easily swayed by product names or descriptions, a little label reading is in order. Many of these healthy-sounding foods aren't as good for you as you might think. Take yogurt, for example. A serving of non-fat Greek yogurt, even if it's lightly sweetened, is a healthy yogurt choice. It packs a whopping 16 grams of protein into just 120 calories, with a modest 3 teaspoons of sugar, most of which comes naturally from the milk. But if you assume all yogurts are healthy and eat instead the regular fruit on the bottom variety, you'd be swallowing more than twice the sugar and less than half the protein of the Greek-style variety, and you'd spend another 50 calories doing it. Rice cakes are a healthy snacker's go-to when there's a craving for something crunchy and salty. A pair of plain rice cakes has fewer calories than a slice of bread and no sugar. But opt instead for the caramel or chocolate-coated ones, and there's so much sugar that you might as well be eating a handful of jelly beans. Whole grains are great as long as that's what you're really eating. Foods like rolled oats, brown rice, or breads labeled 100% whole grain deserve their health halo. But foods that are made with whole grain sometimes have so little whole grain in them that the label is almost meaningless. A food with 5 grams of whole grain per serving wouldn't sound nearly as healthy if the label said what was really in there, less than a teaspoon of whole grain per serving. Fresh fish has a well-deserved halo too, but don't assume that fish is always healthier than other meats. A lot depends on how it's prepared. That halo gets a bit tarnished if you're talking about tuna salad filled with mayonnaise or a fried fish sandwich, either of which may have more fat and calories than a plain grilled hamburger. The original granola was invented over 100 years ago as a healthy whole grain cereal, and at the time deserved its halo. Fast forward to today's granola bars and cereals, and you'll usually find almost no whole grain but a lot of sugar. You're better off tossing a few nuts and a handful of dried fruit into healthy whole grain cereals like bran flakes or shredded wheat. If tea is your thing, make sure you're getting the real thing. Some pre-prepared bottled teas have so little tea and so much added flavor and sugar that they're hardly recognizable as tea at all. Drink a full 16-ounce bottle and you could be taking in as much as 1/3 of a cup of sugar. Brew your own instead. Even if you sweeten it lightly, your tea can still wear its health halo proudly.